FLINT, esteemed faculty members, dear friends. It is our privilege to welcome you all to the official inauguration of the International Student Exchange Program jointly organized by Kerala State Higher Education Council in collaboration with Theophilus Teachers Training College in partnership with University of Michigan, Flint, USA.
This program marks the beginning of a meaningful academic partnership that promotes global learning, cultural exchange, and international collaboration. We are delighted to have each one of you with us in this special occasion. To commence today's program, let us seek the blessings of God Almighty. May I now invite Ms. Akshara JS to lead us in prayer.
ആദിയുഷസിന്റെ ജീവപ്രപഞ്ചത്തിൽ ആടിക്കളിച്ചൊരാപ്പൂക്കളിൽ നിർമ്മലരാഗരേണുക്കൾ വിളമ്പിയ കർമ്മചൈതന്യമേ കൈതൊഴുന്നേ. നിൻവിരൽ തൊട്ടപ്പോൾ ആദിപരാഗം ആടിക്കളിച്ചൊരാപ്പൂക്കളിൽ നിർമ്മലരാഗരേണുക്കൾ വിളമ്പിയ കർമ്മചൈതന്യമേ കൈതൊഴുന്നേ.
Thank you, Ms. Akshara, for the prayerful beginning. To formally welcome the gathering, I respectfully invite Professor Dr. Jojo John, Principal of Theophilus Training College, to deliver the welcome address.
By education, I mean an all-round drawing out of the best in child and man, caught from Father of our nation, Mahatma Gandhi. Most respected Right Reverend Varkiatvaratha Corpiscopa, Chief Vicar General, Trivandrum Major Archdiocese, the guest of honor of the day, the pride of all the students of Theophilus Training College, Vice Chairperson, Kerala State Higher Education Council, most respected Dr. Achut Shankar Sir, esteemed Sapna Twait Ma'am, Vice Provost of Michigan Flint, Dr. Zachariah Matthew, Director, Center for Global Engagement and Senior International Officer, University of Michigan Flint, and our most respected friends, esteemed professors and charming students from Michigan Flint, Eldo Sir, dearest Barsarachan, Professor Dr. G.B. Givergis, esteemed faculty members, research scholars, M.Ed scholars, and Theophilus Training College B.Ed students. If you want to do justice to education, we need wings. A parachute flies only when it is open. We should be open to the best practices around the world, and we can do justice only when we learn at least two cultures. Kerala government is giving Theophilus Training College a unique opportunity to welcome and to interact with esteemed professors from University of Michigan Flint, and we are really indebted to Government of Kerala, Higher Education Council, and all educational fraternity. Theophilus Training College is really privileged to welcome Dr. Achut Shankar Sir to our midst. Vice Chairman, Kerala State Higher Education Council. He has been instrumental in shaping the lives of assistant professors, research scholars, and all student fraternity of University of Kerala directly and indirectly. Dear friends, a great visionary thinker, a great musician, a voracious writer, and an outstanding motivator, what not, Achi Shankar sir is everything, and we are really proud of Achi Shankar sir. And on behalf of Malangara Syrian Catholic Church and Marthapuram Training College Fraternity, I would like to welcome Achi Shankar sir to our midst. One more applause, please. Plant also. We have Dr. Sapna Twait, ma'am, an outstanding leader and motivator, and she is coordinating the program with our Zakaria sir. Sapna ma'am is level 3 of Michigan University FLINT as far as her capacity is concerned, and she is coordinating and she is coming personally and visiting, and she has visited India 50 times I think in different educational enterprise. Am I correct, ma'am? Around 50. We have got great joy to welcome Sapna ma'am to our midst, and I would like our Barsa Rachan to welcome Sapna ma'am with Panada. Zakaria Matthew sir is an outstanding leader. He is the man behind all these things, the brain behind all these things. An outstanding leader, a very good communicator, a powerful teacher, what not. We have great joy to welcome Zakaria sir. I would like Yeldo sir, please to come and adorn sir with Ponnada and welcome sir, please. Thank you very much. Now we have Susain Lagar, Assistant Professor, School of Nursing, a very sweet professor from USA. I would like Bindu teacher to welcome ma'am adorning Ponnada, please. With a loud round of applause, please. Dr. Jeremy, an outstanding professor and a great leader. I would like to welcome GB teacher to welcome Dr. Jeremy sir to our midst, please. Next is Dr. Sam Hilbert, Assistant Professor, College of Education, an outstanding teacher. Dear ma'am, warm welcome to you. I would like Mega teacher to welcome ma'am to our midst, please. Panna. We have got Merlin Filter ma'am, Professor, School of Nursing with us. A lovely person, outstanding nursing professor. She has come over here to help the nursing department of Government of Kerala. Warm welcome to you, ma'am. Dr. Deepthi Elizabeth ma'am, please come and welcome Merlin. Nabindu teacher. Called for teachers to welcome our students, please. Dear friends, we have got Mari from USA and secondary maths teacher and in final year of program. Mari, warm welcome to you. Shiny teacher, please welcome. Now Lillian, a very lively personality, always smiling. Lillian, warm welcome. She is doing major primary grade teacher. Okay, now. Alisa, as serene as a lake. Alisa is an outstanding person. And now Ansi teacher. Answer teacher welcomes Alisa here. Lillian, thank you. Jidin sir, please. Jidin sir, okay. Alisa, please. Welcome with a loud round of applause. Now, Sandy, and Sandy is the last one. A very peaceful Sandy. Jidin sir, please. Jidin sir, welcome Sandy. Thank you, Jidin sir. Thank you, Sandy. Dear friends, let's collaborate, let's interact, deliberate, let's share our best practices in the coming days. I would like to welcome all of you, and I would like to conclude welcoming all the MTTC family members since we are running short of time. Warm welcome everyone. Let's make these 7 days memorable days. Thank you. Warm welcome everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your warm words of welcome and for setting the tone for this memorable occasion. May I now invite Monsignor Reverend Varki Attipurathu Korepiscopa, Chief Vicar General, Major Archdiocese of Thiruvananthapuram, to deliver the presidential address.
A very warm and pleasant good morning to everyone. Professor Dr. Achu Sangar, Vice Chairman, Higher Education Council, respected Sakariya sir, Dr. George John, Principal of MTT College, other dignitaries on the dais, distinguished professors from the United States, esteemed faculty members, dear students, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is with immense joy and profound gratitude that I welcome all of you to this memorable occasion of our academic collaboration program. Being the Vicar General of the Major Archdiocese of Trivandrum, on behalf of our beloved patron, His Beatitude, more and more Basilios Climis Catholicos, the Major Archbishop of the Malankara Catholic Church, I extend my heartfelt and affectionate welcome to our distinguished guests from the University of Michigan, FLINT. A special word of welcome goes to the 6 esteemed professors and 4 bright students who have traveled across continents to be with us. Your presence is a testimony to the power of education in building bridges between cultures, nations, and people. We are honored to receive you to Kerala and especially to our academic family. This collaboration is not merely an exchange of knowledge. It is an exchange of hearts, values, traditions, and aspirations. True education flourishes when diverse minds come together to learn from one another with openness, respect, and mutual trust. We hope that during your stay, you will experience not only the academic excellence of our institutions, but also gratitude to the government of Kerala for continuously encouraging innovation and intercultural understanding. Programs like this prepare our students to become responsible global citizens who appreciate diversity while working together for the common ground. The Malangara Catholic Church has always believed that education is one of the most effective instruments for transforming society. Inspired by the teachings of Jesus Christ, our education institutions strive to nurture not only intellectual excellence but also moral integrity, compassion, social responsibility, and a commitment to peace. We firmly believe that knowledge becomes meaningful only when it is accompanied by values. As we celebrate this partnership, let us remember that lasting collaborations are built not merely on agreements but on friendship, mutual respect, and a shared vision for the future. May this initiative become the beginning of many fruitful academic exchanges, collaborative research projects, faculty development programs, student mobility initiatives, and lifelong friendships between our institutions. To our distinguished guests from the University of Michigan, FLINT, I once again extend a heartfelt welcome. May your stay in Kerala be intellectually enriching, culturally memorable, and personally rewarding. May God bless this collaboration, bless all the participating institutions, and guide us as we work together to build a more knowledgeable, peaceful, and compassionate world. Thank you.
Thank you, Father, for your inspiring, thoughtful words. It is our honor to invite Professor Dr. Achut Shankar Nair, Sir, Vice Chairperson, Kerala State Higher Education Council, to officially inaugurate the International Student Exchange Program and deliver the inaugural address. Welcome, sir.
Very good morning to all of you. I will avoid a roll call, which is very boring. So the team from University of Michigan and the VIPs of today, Alisa, Imari, Lillian, and Santi. I actually feel like a priest now, you know, wearing this. And my name also suits. Achanam Achua. So I would first of all like to welcome our young friends. I would like to rechristen you for the days you spent in India. Alisa, you will be known as Eliamma. Imari, you will be known as Maria. Lillian, Lillikutti. Santi, Sandamma. So you're all Indianized now. It's a pleasure to be in an occasion like this, where students from around the world meet. We are all one. If you want to look at it that way, we are all made up of cells. If you want to find oneness even between human beings and plants, then plants are also made up of cells. If you want to find oneness between me and this water bottle, then we are both made up of atoms. So we are all one. Having said that, we are all different also. It is that difference that makes it exciting to meet each other. When you say the food that you eat, what is your favorite food? Pizza? Is that a usual? What is that? Fruits. Fruit. Okay. But what about on the dining table? What would you wish? Pizza? No. Okay. Well, at least that is my idea of what the favorite American food is. You must try the very traditional Kerala food, which is called Padanganni, which is fermented rice gruel, onto which you add Kerala yogurt and you crush a chili, which you have to be very careful with. I want to tell you, in some way both these foods are the same. They contain starch, they contain some proteins, they contain some vitamins, minerals, and also some bacteria, which is good for health. So these foods also, you can say they are one. They are one in some way, but they are different also. So, before that, I now have to dispense with this shawl. Would one of the students from the Marthiophilus come forward? What about you? You are a student? Come. They shouldn't feel that they are not being honored. So, representing all the students, I give this shawl to them. You keep that, don't remove. There is a difference between every person, between every race, between every country, that makes the world colorful and beautiful and worth visiting each other. I would like to just demonstrate how we are different in terms of food. I am going to describe something that people in Kerala are familiar with. I will do that in Malayalam, I translate it to you in English. നല്ല നാട്ടുമാവിൽ നിന്നൊരു പച്ച മാങ്ങ ഇങ്ങോട്ട് എടുത്തിട്ട് ഇടിച്ച് പൊട്ടിച്ചിട്ട് മുകളിൽ കുറച്ച് ഉപ്പിട്ടു. I am telling them, take a raw green mango, crush it and put some salt. What happened with you? Their mouth starts watering. Possibly not with you. Because in their youth, from their childhood, they are used to that food. It is not just food, it is memories. Life experience and memories packed with the word. That is what makes us different. You might have something similar to that in your culture and your life. So what I am trying to say is, when cultures meet, when races meet, when different countries meet, we must recognize and respect the oneness, and at the same time try to find out the subtle differences which makes life very colorful. Talk of music all over, just like plants and human beings are made up of cells, music is made up of notes. And notes across cultures are more or less the same. There could be very subtle differences which doesn't matter to ordinary people. So I would just like to tell you that Indian music represents one more layer compared to what a typical Western music would talk about. The notes in the Western music are very straight notes. If you play the keyboard on the piano, it sounds like sa re ga ma pa da ni sa. So your syllables are different. You say do re mi fa, but here our syllables are culturally different, and we think aesthetically more suited to us. In addition to that, we don't sing the notes straight like you. We shake the notes in a manner that somebody might think that the notes are drunk. Sarigama Padanisa is your music. Ours is Sarigama Padanisa. So the notes are shaking. The notes are dancing. They are shaking. They create another layer of aesthetics, which is called Indian music, the South Indian music. So I enjoy reading what the earliest visitors to India, when they listened to the music, what did they feel? So at that time they said, oh, these Indians don't know to sing because they cannot hold their notes straight. But we used to say, oh, these Westerners, they don't know to sing. They have very uninteresting straight notes. But today we see each other with more understanding. And in this way, food, music, whatever we talk about, language, in language you can find oneness, you can also find differences. The great classical language from India, Sanskrit, is surprisingly very connected to English. So the linguists say they are derived from a common family. Look at some words, heart in English. In Sanskrit you say hrit. Spleen is an internal organ, I don't know where it is. In Sanskrit it is called spliha. Spleen, spliha. Mata, mother. Brada, brother. Dio, dwa. Dakka, dacha. I can reel out large number of such words. Igneous, Agni. At the same time, they are very different also. So this is a theme I would like to say. Find oneness, at the same time, very subtle, colorful differences between cultures. I would welcome you to mix with the students. The picture that I give or what Professor Joju sir gives is not something you should rely on. You should have a one-to-one chat with students. Our students are all very, very good, but they have a style that they need a lot of time to warm up. They wouldn't come and straight away start talking to you and open up the way that you are used to. They might look very shy and timid, but let me tell you, they are not. They are all heroes. But they have their way of going about making friendship. They take time to warm up. They might look shy. And I think you know that we also have this baggage of history where we were ruled by, we used to refer to them as whites, the whites. So, but all that will melt away when two hearts meet. We will understand soon. You will understand, the students here will understand. Here are human beings, here are human beings, nothing else. With colorful differences that are of interest to each of us. That is what we should be looking at. Young friends here, I would like you to also interact and make use of our friends here. Ask them how things are in their universities. Ask them whether they have nicknames for their professors. Ask them what it is. Ask them whether they have something like ragging. They call it hazing. Does it happen in their universities? Do they have campus politics? Is it as violent as we have in our place? Ask all these things to them. It is through these interactions that our education becomes complete. So the value that is delivered to this college by the visit of these professors and students, I look at it as of immense quantity. The government of Kerala has taken up the task of even artificially enhancing the student diversity in our campuses. Professor Paul is here. I will be holding discussions with him in the coming 2 days. And one thing I would like to inform the professors from University of Michigan is, we are not content with short-term visits like this. We would like to invite 2 American students to come and study here in Kerala. And the government of Kerala will give them a very handsome scholarship, fully funded scholarship for them to come and study. We want them to be here in the campus full time, interact with students and influence the environment here. Actually, I felt a bit jealous when the students were all, and the whole team was welcomed with chandanam and flowers and all that. I was wondering, I was trying to look at the students and ask them, when you came to join the college, did you get the same welcome? You should. You should. Koduthu. Oh, it was a hug and flower, not a chandanam. I feel that in every place, when in a home there is a visitor, it happens in my home, please correct me if it is not so in your home. When a visitor comes to my home, my family, though I must tell you that we still have a patriarchal system in place, and at least people of my age, we are used to that, but we are trying to change that. So, my wife who makes the dinner or the lunch, she pulls out plates from the almara which were never taken out so far. And she has on the menu something which I have never tried. So you make, when you have visitors, you are very, very good. You want to put out your best self. But the good thing is that it is not for the visitors alone. I also get a very good lunch that day or a dinner that day. So that is the idea of having, visitors in campus. We all are kind of awakened, we are all in an alert state, and we want to make sure that they are taken care of well. Ideally, this should happen to everyone, with all the students, with all the teachers. So, we have Eldo here, who is leading the international affairs in the Kerala State Higher Education Council. We have a small issue with the arrangements we have made because of the heavy rains especially in the other parts of the state, the northern part and the middle Kerala. We are having heavy rains. So some kind of changes in our plans might be there in the coming 2 days. But I will be happy to receive the whole team in my office in the coming today or day after and have lunch with you. I will also get a good lunch. And I want to just close my address by telling our young friends that Kerala has been a destination for the world, not now, but hundreds of years ago. The whole world came to Kerala. We never went to the rest of the world. Only very recently we started going to other parts of the world. But if you look at history, most of the time the world was busy coming to Kerala. And one of those visits which failed, somebody wanted to come to Kerala, but got mixed up with their route and finally ended up discovering your continent. I am still amused that food is at the base of all this. Spices, especially pepper, black pepper. So I often wonder why they didn't settle with some other spice they had, take all the trouble of traveling in those days when it was not a safe journey, traveling to Kerala to get some pepper. Even in Kerala, pepper is not a staple diet any longer. It is just, you use chili which is actually coming from Brazil. That is our staple diet today, how world has changed. But let us remember that this is a place which has attracted ships from all over the world for hundreds of years. And we would like to reboot that situation again and have large number of international students in our campuses. We are starting with a trickle now. Next year we would like 25 foreign students in our campuses, specifically through our new scheme, and 50 non-Kerala students also in our campus, for which also we are announcing a fellowship soon. So fellow teachers from Michigan and also my young friends and young friends here and my fellow teachers from Marthiopolis, let us make this a catalyst for change, for taking a relook at what we are doing, how it can be bettered, how new ideas can be exchanged with them, and how to make life better and more happy for all of us. I will close with a quote from your constitution. I am a proud Indian, and I think that the highest book for all of us Indians is the Indian Constitution. So the Constitution says what are our basic rights. We are all proud of it. But I wish that we had added one more, copying it from the Constitution of the United States of America, which is their Constitution embodies as a basic right the right to pursuit of happiness. I think that is a word which can overrun all other words that you are talking about. So I wish that our campuses are happy. When they are happy, everything is met. All the other rights are understood. You cannot be happy if you don't have freedom of expression, if you don't have freedom of faith, if you don't have your human rights in place. So happiness actually embodies, it's an umbrella word which embodies everything. So let me close finally, be happy. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring words. Now I request Professor Dr. Achushankar sir to officially inaugurate by lighting the lamp, and I request all the delegates to join with the lamp lighting. And I also request the MTTC family members to join us with this inaugural ceremony. Thank you all for joining us for formally inaugurating this significant academic initiative.
Friends, as a token of our love and gratitude to Achu Shankar sir, he is a lover of flowers and plants. I would like to request Bersar Achan Johnson Pudhuvel Achan to hand over our plant. നല്ലൊരു കൈയടിയോടുകൂടെ അല്ല വേറെ രണ്ടെണ്ണം സാറേ അത് വെൽക്കം ഫ്ലവർ ആയിരുന്നു അത് വെൽക്കം ഫ്ലവർ ആയിരുന്നു ആ ചെടി അതെ നമ്മുടെ രണ്ട് ചെടിയും കാറിലോ
We now move to the keynote session. May I invite Dr. Sakriya Matthew, Director of Center for Global Engagement and Senior International Officer, University of Michigan FLINT, to deliver the keynote address.
ഞാൻ എല്ലാം കാണാതെ പഠിച്ചോണ്ടാണ് വന്നത്. പക്ഷേ അച്ചു ശങ്കർ സാറിൻ്റെ സംസാരം കേട്ടപ്പോഴത്തേക്കിനെ എല്ലാം പോയി. അപ്പം പിന്നെ സ്റ്റുഡൻസ് എന്തുവാ ചെയ്യേണ്ടത്? പരീക്ഷ എഴുതുന്ന പിള്ളേർ എന്തുവാ ചെയ്യുന്നത്? എല്ലാം മറന്നു കഴിയുമ്പോൾ തുണ്ട്. Anyway, so good morning and thank you very much for having us here. You know, it's truly an honor to be part of a venture like this, and I'm blessed to have this opportunity to be part of this. I really want to take this opportunity to thank Kerala State Higher Education Council, the Mahathi Fellows Training College, faculty, students, and my wonderful colleagues from FLINT, and also my students for this making sure that this is a great initiative and this is supported well. I personally want to take this opportunity to thank Dr. Achu Shankar sir and Kerala State Higher Education Council, Dr. Jojo John for all the support he has extended, Reverend Varki Alaparatha Core Episcopa, and my colleagues for making this happen. So, you know, while I have to admit that there is a small level of my personal interest in this, but I also want to make sure, in making this program happen, but I also want to make sure that the primary reason for us being here is not my cultural identity or the diaspora connection at all. It is because of the state and the support of the state in the area of education and health. You know, we are the, I don't know if my colleagues know, we are the only state with 100% literacy. And that is not a small plate at all. That shows the level of commitment the state of Kerala has towards education and making sure education is a conduit to social and economic mobility. And the same case with the health as well, with the highest healthcare index in the country. Again, that shows the commitment towards the overall well-being and prosperity of its citizenship. So I want to make sure that everybody understands, while my identity might have played a small role in this decision, but to choose Kerala as a destination was not because of that, but for what this state represents in the area of education and health. Achu Shankar sir, മാങ്ങയുടെ കാര്യം പറഞ്ഞല്ലോ. മാങ്ങ അത് പൂളുമല്ല, തറയിൽ അടിച്ച് പൊട്ടിക്കണം, എന്നിട്ട് കുറച്ച് ഉപ്പ്, കുറച്ച് മുളക് പൊടി. സോ അത് പറഞ്ഞപ്പോൾ ഐ വെന്റ് ബാക്ക് അബൌട്ട് 40 years ago. വല്ലോൻ്റെ മാവി എന്ന് പറിക്കുന്ന മാങ്ങയുടെ അത്രയും രുചി വേറെ എങ്ങൊന്നും വരത്തില്ല. മതിൽ ചാടി പറിച്ച് അപ്പുറത്ത് നിന്ന് പൊട്ടിച്ച്. So all those experiences really make who you are. And I can say there are a lot of things that I may not do it again, but most of it I would try again. But that's because that's who I am. And today, when I'm past many decades, you know, it really gives you an opportunity to reflect back. എന്നിട്ട് നമ്മൾ ഈ പിള്ളേരായിരിക്കുമ്പോൾ ആ എക്സ്പീരിയൻസസ് റിയലി മോൾഡ് ഹൂ യു ബിക്കാം. ആ ഒരു ഇതിൽ ഞാൻ നോക്കുമ്പോൾ അന്നത്തെ ആ എക്സ്പീരിയൻസ് ആണ് എന്നെ ഈ സ്റ്റേജിൽ വീണ്ടും കൊണ്ടുവന്നേക്കുന്നത്. ബിക്കോസ് I need to be thankful for those experiences in the classroom and what happened outside. So everything that happens in your life as a student is a brick that is going into building who you are. It's not just today's experience that you need to count on. It is also the yesterday's experience on which this brick goes on. And believe me, a few years from now, you will be at a stage where your actions or maybe inactions could impact a generation to come. So as I was saying yesterday, teaching is a noble job. You can make or break lives. So my advice to the young generation is be prepared to work in this 21st century. And as Ajushankar sir said, learn from others, but equally important is understanding them. And that can happen only when you willingly communicate with them, talk to them, and try to engage. So when you have this opportunity from both the sides, try to know who they are from both the sides. And that's what's going to make a huge impact. So once again, I really want to take this opportunity to thank everybody for giving us this opportunity and for hosting this amazing event here on this campus. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable insights. May I now invite Dr. Sapna Dwight, Vice Provost for Engaged Learning and Teaching Innovation, University of Michigan, FLINT, to deliver this keynote address.
Namaskaram. So for my colleagues and for the students here from U of M Flint, I was taught at a very young age that means I bow to your soul. So that's like a very respectful way to greet members of your community. I would like to thank you from the bottom of my heart and on behalf of University of Michigan Flint for welcoming us in the way that you did. I have extreme gratitude for the warmth and hospitality that all of you have offered. We were so overjoyed when we came to the airport and we were greeted by Professor Dr. Joju Jan's incredible energy. And we started our experience by taking a walk next to the sea. And just having that moment to share, that common kind of moment of humanity was just something that had touched my soul and I will always remember. So really want to thank you for greeting us the way that you did. So on behalf of University of Michigan Flint, I'm very excited to witness the energy that I've witnessed in the last 24 hours, the opportunities for collaboration that we have here, and as other speakers have said, the opportunities for us to learn from each other. I think there are so many wonderful, wonderful opportunities for us to learn. But I thought I would start a little bit unconventionally and tell you a little bit about myself. Because last night at dinner, I was sitting with many wonderful colleagues here, and I kept getting questions about, ma'am, but you look Indian. You're wearing a Mangalsutra. Can you explain? And so for me, I just wanted to share that, I was born and raised in the United States, but my family is of Indian origin. My family is from Madhya Pradesh. And this is my third time coming to Kerala, second time in a professional capacity. And I feel like I bring a unique perspective to this experience because I am 100% Indian, but I'm also 100% American. I was the first one in my family born in the United States. And so when I come here with my group of colleagues and I also engage with you, I feel comfort and familiarity with both sides. So I feel like I'm in a very unique position that way. So that's a little bit about me personally. Professionally, I am the Vice Provost for Engaged Learning and Teaching Innovation. And so what that means in simple language is that my work involves everything that has to do with learning and teaching. So I work with our director, Dr. Zachariah Thomas, in the Center for Global Engagement. I work with our honors program. I work with our Center for Teaching and Learning, which involves faculty professional development. And I also work very closely with our digital education office. So anything related to learning and teaching is something that I'm a part of. And when I think about the kinds of opportunities that we have here today, I think about many things. You know, we come from vastly different cultures. I know because I'm Indian and I'm also American. But I would say that we really have shared values, okay? And there are a lot of things that we, as educators, all believe. We believe that all students should have an opportunity to learn. All students, regardless of caste, regardless of socioeconomic class, they deserve the opportunity to learn. You know, we all believe that we should create engaging learning environments for our students, and we all strive to find ways to motivate our students. We all strive to support the growth of teachers and the development of teachers. You know, we have utmost respect for teachers. And also, one of the things that's really important to us, a shared value, is getting to know students, not just as students, but getting to know them as human beings. And so what I would urge us to do is think about those shared values in our engagement with each other. And one of the things that is really important in this endeavor is that we think about our diversity and collaboration as a way to strengthen our flourishing bond with each other. We don't always get the beauty and opportunity to spend 1 week together. You know, many of our lives are so busy and we don't get to meet with the people from other countries or other cultures and engage with each other. So I'm hoping, my ask of all of you is to give this blossoming partnership, keep our minds and hearts open to this blossoming partnership, and take the time to cultivate connection. Get to know each other not just as colleagues and fellow students, but get to know each other as people. Learn about your home cultures. Ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask a question that you might consider to be, you know, a question that somebody might laugh at. This is an opportunity for us to really open our minds and hearts to learning in ways that we never have done before. And as Dr. Achyut Shankar had said a few minutes ago, it's important for us to find oneness in this opportunity. So we have a lot of diversity of perspective, but we also have a lot of things in common. So I think it's important for us to think about those things as well. And so, in closing, as I was walking around the corner here, you have a lot of different quotations on your wall, and my colleague was taking photographs of the quotations. And one of the quotations says, "The future is now." And I would urge us to think that the future is now, because the future is now. This is the time for us to get to know each other, make some new connections. And I can say to you personally, I work in the office of the provost at the University of Michigan Flint. The provost at the university is the chief academic officer. She is somebody I work with on a daily basis. She is extremely excited and open to the idea of partnership between our two institutions and our two different cultural contexts. She has also said that she's very eager to come to India someday. So I'm hoping that as we continue to build our partnership with each other, that we might be able to bring her here to share the collaborations that we are creating together. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for this opportunity, and please take the time to get to know each other, and let's see what the future holds for us. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your insightful address and for highlighting the importance of collaboration in higher education as well. As we come to the close of this inaugural ceremony, I invite Professor Dr. Bindu B., Staff Secretary, Mark Theophilos Training College, to propose the vote of thanks.
Respected dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, esteemed members of U.S. contingent from University of Michigan, Flint, honorable guests, respected faculty members, dear students and all gathered here. Good morning to you all. On behalf of Mark Theophilos Training College and the Kerala State Higher Education Council, I consider it as a great privilege to propose a vote of thanks on this memorable occasion. on the inauguration of the International Student Exchange Program with the University of Michigan, FLINT. We are deeply honored by the presence and presidential address of Most Reverend Monsignor Dr. Varki Atupurtachan. Your blessings and guidance are truly invaluable to us. With immense gratitude, we acknowledge our blessings to have a shepherd who leads us with wisdom, compassion, and foresight. Thank you, dear Monsignor, for your constant prayers, support, and encouragement. Our sincere thanks to Dr. Achyutshankar Sir, Vice Chairperson, Kerala State Higher Education Council in absentia, for delivering the thought-provoking inaugural address and for setting the vision for this international collaboration. I express my heartfelt thanks to Professor Dr. Joju John, Principal, Martha Training College, for the warm and gracious welcome address. We know it's because of you, sir. The meticulous coordination and guidance, the program was not only well structured but also very enjoyable and impactful for all of us. Thank you, sir. Our sincere thanks to our Bursar, Father Johnson Puduvelil, for the unwavering support and guidance. Thank you, dear Father. I also extend our warm gratitude to our delegates from Michigan University, Dr. Sapna Twait ma'am, for gracing this occasion and for her inspiring address. And Sakriya sir, you made it happen. Thank you, sir. And also Dr. Jerome, Dr. Sam, Dr. Susan, Dr. Marilyn, and our dear scholars, Mary, Lillian, Alisa, and also Sandy. My thanks are, we extend our heartfelt gratitude to each one of you on behalf of Martha Training College. Thank you. A sincere thanks are due to Kerala State Higher Education Council, especially Eldoser, for making all the arrangements, and the management of Martha Training College, teaching and non-teaching staff, especially Mrs. Mika Suraj Koshi, the co-coordinator of the program, for the incredible effort you put in for making this endeavor a success. And all the student volunteers and all those who work tirelessly behind the scene to make this program a success. Finally, I thank each one of you for your presence, cooperation, and support that made this inauguration meaningful. Once again, thank you all. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for expressing our gratitude so eloquently.
Now I invite Dr. Sapna Twait and Dr. Sakriya Matthew to present a token of gratitude to Monsignor Reverend Varki Atupurtachan Episcopa from the part of University of Michigan FLINT University.
With this, we conclude the official inauguration of the International Student Exchange Program. We sincerely thank you, all dignitaries, delegates, faculty members, students, and guests for our gracious presence.
The program will now continue with the model assembly by the MAd students. We kindly request everyone to please rise as a mark of respect while our esteemed dignitaries leave the hall. Thank you all. Please be seated. We now hand over the program to Bindu Chechi to proceed with the model assembly. Thank you.
Every sunrise unveils a black canvas, and every gathering offers the opportunity to create a masterpiece woven from shared dreams, purpose, and vision. A vibrant, energizing morning to our esteemed principal, esteemed faculty members, PhD scholars, MEd and BEd students, and our very special guest. Whether you say good morning, namaste, or warm welcome, today the air at Martha of Training College is extremely filled with an extra spark of enthusiasm.
Indeed, Madhurima. Today marks a milestone as the MEd batch first present their assembly here. We stand at a unique intersection of learning where the foundational energy of our beard peers, the advanced inquiry of our MEd and PhD scholars, and the wisdom of our faculty come together.
Adding a global sparkle to this morning, we immensely honored to extend a heartfelt welcome to our distinguished delegates visiting us all the way from University of Michigan, Flint, USA. We are truly delighted to have you join our Academy family today.
Gratitude turns what we have into enough, and the quiet faith grounds our highest pursuits. To anchor our heart and evoke the blessings of Almighty, I invite Madhurima as MEd scholar to lead us in prayer.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be your name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as in heaven. Give us today our daily bread, and forgive our sins. Lead us not to the time of trial, keep us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the glory. Let all the people sing amen in every tribe and clime. I'll sing, be born in love. Let all the people say amen.
Maker of nature.
Thank you, Madhurima, for that soothing invocation. With bright minds and open hearts, let's keep the momentum going. Unity is strength. When there is a teamwork and collaboration, wonderful things can be achieved. As future educators, researchers, and global citizens, let us reaffirm our devotion and responsibility to our motherland. I invite Annie to lead us in the pledge.
India is my country. All Indians are my brothers and sisters. I love my country and I am proud of its rich and varied heritage. I shall always strive to be worthy of it. I shall give my parents teachers, and elders, respect and treat everyone with courtesy. To my country and my people, I pledge my devotion. In their well-being and prosperity alone lies my happiness. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Annie. Please be seated, everyone. The mind is not a vessel to be fulfilled, but a fire to be kindled. To light the spark of reflection for the week ahead, I invite Arjun to present the thought for the day.
Hello. Good morning, all. A very special good morning to our distinguished guests from the University of Michigan. In India, we say welcome by greeting everyone by holding our two hands together in front of our heart, expressing our sincere love, gratitude, kindness, and everything. And we warm welcome you all by saying Namaste. And in India, we have a concept that in Sanskrit we say Aditi Devo Bhava. Aditi Devo Bhava. Aditi means guest. Okay. We have a culture in which we treat all our guests like God. Right? We treat all our guests like God. Aditi Devo Bhava. Hope last 2 days you have been enjoying in Kerala, and hope you are experiencing the love and kindness that we express to our guests all over. And yes, today as we move on, this 2026 August 3rd, in Kerala we also follow the Malayalam calendar. We say it as Kolla Varsham. Okay, today marking Kolla Varsham 1201, the month of Karkidagam. Are you getting? We have 12 months in Malayalam. Today is the month of Karkidagam 18th. Today is August 3rd. At the same time in Kerala, we are considering today as the 18th day of the Malayalam month of Karkidagam. And in Karkadaga Masa is devoted for reciting Adhyatma Ramayana, one of the beautiful script of our culture. Adhyatma Ramayana was written by Tunjatha Ramanujan Eduthishan, who is the father of Malayalam language. Ramanujan wrote Adhyatma Ramayana by praising the story of Lord Sri Rama. Okay, today I am going to share a thought based on Ramayana. Okay, Ramayana is divided into 7 kandas. Kanda, which stands for chapter, and we have 7 kandas in Ramayana. I am going to explain one of the chant from the Ayodhya Kanda from Ramayana. Ayodhya Kanda is one of the chapter from Ramayana, and I am going to explain one of the quote from Ayodhya Kanda. The context is after the death of King Dasharatha, one of his son, the youngest son, Lakshmana, was worried. He was into depression. He was stuck in the way. And his elder brother, Sri Rama, who we consider as our Lord, Avatara of Lord Vishnu, Sri Rama is giving an advice to Lakshmana. He is advising Lakshmana, which is famous known as Lakshmana Upadesham in Ramayana. Okay, Lakshmana Upadesha means advice. Sri Rama is advising his younger brother Lakshmana about the value of life, about getting not emotionally attached to anyone, becoming strong, leading a good life. And in this context of Ramayana, in Lakshmana Upadesha, Rama is giving so many messages that will help us to copy into our life for a bright future. And these 2 lines are from Ramayana. I will explain. I will first chant that, then I will go to the explanation. ചക്ഷുശ്രവണകളസ്തമാം ദർധുരം ഭക്ഷണത്തിനപേക്ഷിക്കുന്ന പോലെ കലാഹിന പരിഗ്രസ്തമാം ലോകവും ആലോലചേതസ ഭോഗങ്ങൾ തേടുന്നു. This is one of the chant from Ramayana. Okay. Hope you can read by the English letters. It is Chakshu Sravana Galastamam Darduram Bhakshanatin Abekshikunnadupole Kalahina Parigrastamam Logavum Alola Chedasa Bhogangal Tedanu. I will just explain the word by meaning. Chakshu means eye, about viewing. And Sravana means ear, about hearing. And Galastamam, something joined to the neck. And the term Chakshu Sravana stands for snake. Snake is in which we have the eyes and ears is joined for Chakshu Sravana. It explains in the way that, like the way a frog is caught up in the mouth of a snake, okay, like a frog trapped inside the mouth of a snake, we humans are trapped in the mouth of time. Even though the frog knows that he is in danger, instead of realizing the situation, instead of trying to get escape from the mouth of the snake, he always tries to catch new insects. Like the same way, we humans, without realizing the importance of time, we are trying to get greed, wealth, fame, material pleasures, or we are running beyond material pleasures. This quote implies us that being students or teacher educators, it is nothing important with what we possess. What important is understanding what we have and finding true and valuable time. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Arjun, for giving us something meaningful to ponder as we step into this week. An institution thrives on its momentum, creativity, and academic milestone. Let us take a quick glance at the recent highlight activities and achievements with the vibrant corridors of Theophilus Training College. Here is a recorded campus news.
Welcome to the latest edition of Campus News from Theophilus Training College, Malanjara, where excellence in teacher education meets innovation, research, and global collaboration. Here's a roundup of the major events shaping our vibrant campus community. Let's find out what happened during the past few days in and around us. To the major headlines: International Conclave on Sustainable Development. Our college successfully hosted the International Conclave on Sustainable Development, bringing together academicians, researchers, educators, and students to discuss sustainable practices in education and society. The event reinforced our institution's commitment to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals and responsible global citizenship. Tribal Visit as an experiential learning initiative where students, faculties, teaching and non-teaching staffs visited a tribal settlement area. The visit offered valuable insights into the tribal education system, available educational facilities, healthcare access, cultural traditions, and sustainable lifestyles. Bachelor's and Master's course inauguration at Theophilus Training College. As the new academic year began, the inauguration and orientation program for the incoming B.Ed and M.Ed batches were conducted through a multi-religious prayer invoking divine blessings. This was followed by classes from eminent personalities. Professor Dr. Advocate G.B. Giorgis took in charge of the M.Ed department as the new director. The students of MTTC returned with the ever-rolling trophy of ALA 2026, an intercollegiate recitation competition held at BNB College of Teacher Education. The students bagged first position in English recitation, second and third position in Hindi recitation. A very proud moment for the institution as Malini Ji, the research scholar of Marketplace Training College, was awarded the Doctor of Philosophy degree. The college extends heartfelt congratulations and wishes for continued success. MTTC hunts for talent. Creativity and talent took center stage during the Talent Hunt program held for different batches of the new BA season. They showcased artistic excellence featuring music, dance, drama, instrumental performance and cultural presentations. The campus celebrates the arrival of the University of Michigan FLINT delegation. An exciting international collaboration began with the arrival of the faculty and student delegation from the University of Michigan FLINT, USA. Now, the campus is gearing up for an exciting week of international academic activities. Today, Marketplace Training College will be a venue for the official inauguration of International Student Exchange Program with the University of Michigan FLINT, USA. And the program will be inaugurated by Dr. Achyut Shankar S. Nair, Vice Chairperson, Kerala State Higher Education Council. Tomorrow, the 4th of August, the college will be hosting the International Colloquium on Best Practices in Education in India and USA, bringing together experts from India and the United States in a hybrid mode to exchange innovative ideas and strengthen global education partnership. Let's have a quick look at the upcoming events. The Marketplace Training College is looking ahead for the International Student Exchange Program, which will be held and will continue from 1st to 8th of August. Featuring school visits, cultural immersion programs, collaborative workshops, classroom observations, and interactions with education leaders across Kerala.
Thank you. It's always inspiring to see our campus buzzing with purpose and excellence. In a globalized world, awareness is the bridge that connects culture and minds. To keep us well informed about the key happening across the globe, our nation, state, and the field of education, I invite Sona Anil to present today's news updates.
Good morning, all. Good morning all. Today's news bulletin. International. India's Advaita Reddy Palam won a bronze medal at the International Economics Olympiad 2026. Diplomatic efforts continue to ease tensions in West Asia while the UN discusses. China established a high-altitude drone operations hub in Tibet. National. The Lok Sabha passed the Prevention of Insults to National Honor Amendment Bill 2026. The IMD forecast below normal rainfall during August and issued heavy rainfall alerts for several states. Commercial LPG cylinder prices were reduced by more than 200 nationwide. State Kerala. Kerala remains under orange alert due to heavy rainfall. Schools in several districts have been closed as a precaution. The Kerala government will continue implementing the PM Tree scheme to strengthen school education. Business and economy. India's mobile phone export crossed 2.5 lakh crore. E20 ethanol blended petrols show only a minor reduction in fuel efficiency. Science and technology. ISRO successfully completed a key engine test for the Gangayaan mission. ICMR approved a low-cost diagnostic kit for tropical diseases. Sports. Neeraj Chopra won silver in the Commonwealth Games javelin event. Tejasvi Shankar created history with India's first Commonwealth Games decathlon medal. Galveer Singh secured silver in the men's 10,000 meters. Educational news. UGC approved 1-year postgraduate programs through online and ODL modes. MCC introduced updated NEET UG 2026 counseling guidelines. News in detail. International. India's Advaita Reddy Palam won the bronze medal at the International Economic Olympiad 2026 held in China. Bringing pride to the nation, diplomatic efforts are continuing to reduce tensions in West Asia following recent military developments, while the United Nations Security Council discussed the safety of global shipping routes. In another development, China established a high-altitude drone operations hub in Tibet near border regions. Several countries also strengthened cooperation in education, technology, and economic development through international forums held this week. National news. The Lok Sabha passed the Prevention of Insults to National Honor Amendment Bill 2026, granting legal protection to the national song Vande Mataram. The India Meteorological Department has forecast below normal rainfall during August while issuing heavy rainfall alerts for Kerala and several northeastern states. Commercial 19 kg LPG cylinder prices have also been reduced by more than 200 across the country, offering relief to small business. State news. The IMD has issued an orange alert for 11 districts in Kerala following heavy rainfall warnings. Schools in several districts have been closed as a precautionary measure. In Idukki, the Kallarkutti Dam has opened its shutter gates due to rising water levels. The Kerala government has also decided to continue implementing the PM Street scheme to improve school infrastructure and educational quality. Business and economy. India's mobile phone exports crossed a record 2.5 lakh crore during the current financial year, reflecting strong growth in domestic manufacturing. The Union Transport Ministry has confirmed that E20 ethanol blended petrol results in only a 2 to 6% variation in fuel efficiency for most vehicles. Science and technology. ISRO successfully completed a crucial high-altitude engine test for the Gangayaan mission, bringing India closer to its first human space flight. The Indian Council of Medical Research has approved a low-cost diagnostic kit for the early detection of vector-borne tropical diseases. Sports news. India continued its impressive performance at the Commonwealth Games 2026. Neeraj Chopra won the silver medal in the men's javelin throw. Tejas Shankar became the first Indian to win a Commonwealth Games medal in the decathlon, while Galveer Singh secured the silver medal in the men's 10,000 meter event. Educational news. The University Grants Commission approved one-year postgraduate programs through online and open and distance learning modes, expanding opportunities for flexible higher education. The Medical Counseling Committee also introduced updated reporting guidelines and online document verification procedures for NEET UG 2026 admission. That concludes my news. Thank you and have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Sana, for keeping us connected globally and locally. To look back into history is not to live in the past, but to draw the light for the future. Every week carries stories of human triumph, historical shifts, and important observances. To enlighten us on the significance of this week, I invite Ahanya to present the importance of the week.
Good morning all. Today, as we gathered on 3rd August, let us take a moment to recognize World Breastfeeding Week, observed every year 1st to 7th August across the globe. This week reminds us one of the purest expressions of love, a mother's care for her child. From the very first moment of life, a mother provides not only affection but also the best possible nourishment through breastfeeding. Breast milk is nature's perfect first food, containing all the essential nutrients and protective antibodies a baby needs during the first 6 months of life. World Breastfeeding Week is celebrated in more than 120 countries through awareness campaigns, health talks, workshops, community outreach programs, counseling sessions for mothers, social media initiatives, and educational initiatives in schools and hospitals. These programs encourage families, healthcare professionals, workplaces, and communities to create a supportive environment where every mother can breastfeed with confidence and dignity. The theme and motto for the World Breastfeeding Week 2026 is Breastfeeding for a Sustainable and Healthier Future. It highlights the importance of breastfeeding not only for a child's health but also for building a stronger, healthier and more sustainable world for future generations. As we observe this important week, let us remember that supporting a mother is one of the greatest ways to support a child's future. A healthy beginning in life builds a healthier family, a stronger society, and a brighter tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you, Ahanya, for those importance of the week. Leadership is about turning a vision and reality and guiding minds towards ethical excellence. It's now our distinct privilege to invite a respected principal to deliver the principal's message.
Thank you very much. Full screen. Okay. Start. First line. Thank you, sir. Hi, friends. I'm really delighted to address all of you. And today we are having an outstanding assembly. I would like to give you 3 thoughts. Before entering into my thoughts, I would like to thank Marthapulos Training College family for continuously doing things in a meticulous fashion, and our motto is continuous professional development. In the Easter week, we could organize a handful of meaningful, outstanding programs, and you have organized things in a very beautiful fashion, state-of-the-art manner. I am proud of all of you. I would like to congratulate Team MTTC, big salute and hats off. And I'm really delighted that a handful of exceptional professors and brilliant students from Michigan University are here to be with us for 7.5 days, 8 days, to witness the best practices in India and to share with us the best practices that they are having in the Michigan FLINT, one of the prestigious universities of the world. Warm welcome. I'm really delighted. Now, friends, to contribute to your thoughts and incubating ideas and for your meditation, I would like to give you 3 small thoughts. Okay, warm welcome. First of all, we need to be aware that our life is a journey of continuous professional development, and bit by bit, day by day, minute by minute, we are trying to bring out the best version of ourselves. That's the mission. I would like to share you a secret. Don't think of big things. Start small, step by step. Chali pole tudangum, todu pole, nadi pole, kadalu pole. Small beginnings, but greater ends. That is our mission. I would like you to improve 1% a day. Can you? Can you? 1% a day. For example, if you are a teacher, speak with a little more clarity that day. 1% a day. If you are dressing up, okay, have well-pressed dress and polished shoes, comb your hair beautifully. 1% a day. Shall we? Shall we? 1% a day? So you will see a miracle in a year. In 365 days, you are going to grow 3,800 times. 3,800%. 38 times. One day 1%. Second day 1% means then that 1% of the first day's growth also added. And 1 year you would be doubling your output 38 times. Shall we? That's the first thought. Okay, now, second thought, it's really very important. Okay, This is the graph of 38%, 38 times development. Okay. Second thought is, so have a vision. 3 brick builders were working. The first person was asked, what are you doing? He said, I need 1,000 rupees. That's why doing this. Second person was asked, what are you doing? He's also building bricks, and he said, food for my family. That's my day. Okay. Third person was also doing the same work, and he was asked, what are you doing? He said, I am building a school. I am building doctors, engineers, scientists, leaders. I am doing that. If you have a great vision, you would enjoy every bit of it. If you have a great vision, you would enjoy the work that you are doing. It will not be work. It will not be work anymore. You would enjoy it. It would become your hobby. Third is a story. Okay. Third is a story. Now, what is I would like to share a beautiful, cute story. A mouse trap was bought by a farmer, and the rat was upset. The rat was running up to the hen and said, mouse trap was bought, what to do? So you take care of yourself. That was the comment. Then went to the sheep. Mouse trap was bought. What to do? Take care of yourself. What should I? Why should I bother? Then went to the buffalo. And the buffalo was laughing like anything. Why should I bother? Take care of yourself. And at night there was a thud sound. The mouse trap was it has worked, and a snake was caught. Half of it in the mouse trap. The farmer's wife went into the dark room. The snake bit the woman. She fell ill. Friends came, relatives came, no curry, killed the hen and served curry. Next day, more people came, many friends, family members, no curry. The sheep was cut and lunch was served. Fifth day, the farmer's wife passed away. All the villagers came, all relatives came, and the buffalo was killed and they were given lunch. Little mouse from the rooftop was looking at everything. What is happening? What is happening? Connect with others. One person's problem is everybody's problem. Connect with your friends. Connect with your teachers. Connect with your students. Unless you are connecting, you cannot do justice to your profession. If you want to teach Abdullah, first learn Abdullah and connect with Abdullah and learn it. Good wishes. Let's go forward as Team MTTC and let's do our work in a meticulous fashion. Fatherhood of God and brotherhood of mankind. That's our mission, vision, motto. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your deeply encouraging words. Your guidance continually pushes us to elevate our standards in academy, research, and character.
Our college anthem is the heartbeat of our institution, a song that binds generations of scholars, teachers, and leaders together. Let us stand with pride and reverence as we sing our college anthem.
Maker of teachers, you molded us fine. Pray we to God for the eternal life, and deep in our hearts, your motto we bear. Dominus mea, illumination. days. May all the world be grace to your name. Matya of his mother, how wish me with thee. Maker of teachers, you molded us fine. Pray we to God for the eternal life, and deep in our hearts, your motto we bear. Darkness we are, illumination.
As we wrap up the very first assembly of Emmet Batch 2026, we leave you with the inspiring words of Nelson Mandela. Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world.
May this week be one of profound learning, cross-cultural appreciation, and relentless pursuit of knowledge for our peers, Emmet colleagues, PhD researchers, and our guests from Michigan University. Let's rise up for the national anthem.
जनगणमन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
Congrats to postgraduate students of Martha Training College. Teachers, please take our guests to the guest for tea. All of you, please meet us here itself. Thank you. Teachers, please. You may move for tea, please. We can have tea and we will be moving to the law college. Sam, ma'am, there you will speak something about human rights. And if possible, some of the students, if they feel like, no compulsion. Jeremy sir also, if possible. ഒട്ടും സമയമില്ല നമ്മൾ
College of Law, it's my pleasure to welcome you all to today's panel discussion on the human rights of marginalized persons, a women and child rights perspective. This gathering is part of a larger story. Martha Training College is currently hosting a week-long education and cultural immersion program in partnership with the University of Michigan, United States of America. As part of that program, MTTC reached out and invited us to co-host today's discussion, bringing two institutions, two continents, and one shared conversation on human rights together in this hall, under the auspicious support of the Kerala State Higher Education Council. Before we commence our agenda for today's event, let us all join for a moment of silent prayer, invoking the blessings of the Almighty upon everyone gathered here today. Thank you. As the host institution, it falls on us to formally welcome our guest to this campus. I invite our principal, Dr. R. Biju Kumar sir, to deliver the welcome address.
Good morning, welcome to all. At the outset, I express my thanks to Principal of Martha College, B.Ed College, Dr. Joju John, for having arranged such an interaction between the foreign delegation that is from Michigan University. They are from the discipline of education and also nursing, I think. And it will be a very good interaction between these two with the discipline of law. And when we met last month as part of our academic council meeting, Joju sir was present, and we discussed several areas where we can collaborate in the different academic activities. It is the first such a program as part of this collaboration that the delegation from Michigan University who are visiting the B.Ed college has been also arranged a visit here for interaction with our students and teachers. So I once again express my gratitude for behalf of the institution for having arranged such a meeting with the foreign delegation. With these words, I formally welcome all the foreign delegates without naming each one, because there is another introduction of delegation by Dr. Joju John, so I am not wasting the precious time. I only express my welcome to all the members of the foreign delegation and the teachers of B.Ed college, students, and also the faculty members and students of this college. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor. Now Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you, Professor. To introduce the visiting delegation and the immersion program that brought them here, I invite Dr. Jojo John, Principal, MTTC, to the podium.
Most respected Principal of Mar Gregorios College of Law, Gregorians, Theophilites, Michigans. To make it short, we are really delighted that we are having a satsang today, an outstanding program where different cultures, different faculties blend together, and for a common cause, human rights, women's rights, and children's rights. I would like to begin with a quote. Swami Vivekananda said, if you higher education, and on behalf of Higher Education Council, I would like to welcome all of you to this program once again. Thank you. Now it's my proud privilege to introduce the outstanding people who are on the dais. So we have a brilliant personality, an outstanding professor, Dr. Sam Hilbert, Assistant Professor, College of Education, University of Michigan, FLINT, United States of America. Let's welcome our dear ma'am with a loud round of applause. I would like to request the principal to adorn this shawl. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Give a loud round of applause, please. Thank you very much. One and only Jeremy, Dr. Jeremy Dinovan, Assistant Professor. We are having the proud privilege to welcome this distinguished guest. Sir, please adorn with a shawl. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And we have 4 outstanding human beings. We thought Americans are really very proud. So we had some inhibitions, but we felt that they are as good as ourselves. Sometimes far, far better than ourselves. With regard to human rights, women's rights, children's rights are concerned, environmental issues are concerned, US students are far behind Indians. Okay, we would like to look up to you and learn from you. So, at the very outset, one and only Alisa. So we call her peaceful Alisa. Go to the center part and receive the shawl. And we have Sandy, peaceful Sandy from USA, Michigan Flint. Come to the center part. And we have an outstanding Mary from USA. Mary, dear Mary, come to the center part. And so applause is not enough. Loud round of applause required. And the most lively human being on earth, Lillian, please come forward. Most lively human being on earth is Lillian. Thank you very much. Dear sir, I want this to be a pleasurable environment. That's why. So more than formalities, such a way of presentation. And I'm really delighted that Law College has taken such pains to arrange this program with such beauty. I would not like to mention everyone, principal and the Gregorians, the team Gregorians. Proud of you, proud of you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. That was such an energetic introduction. With our guest introduced, it's time to turn to the subject at hand. I now invite MGCL's Head of Department and the moderator of today's discussion, Dr. Meera Matthew, to frame today's theme and commence the panel discussion. Ma'am, please.
A very good morning to one and all. So as you all know, I'll just give a hint of what is the panel discussion about. As you all know, panel discussion is basically like getting different perspective from different participants. That means we have academicians from both the sister concerns, Margaret Goris and MTTS. Accordingly, we also have people from Michigan Flint University. And the topic, 1 minute, can I have everyone's attention over here? Yeah. So the topic we have chosen is on human rights of marginalized people, women's rights and children's perspective. So to set a background, I just wanted to say that vulnerability exists in all the continents, irrespective of you belong to a developed nation or a developing nation or underdeveloped nation. But the variety of human right violations you see might be different. For example, I was just checking the data. Domestic violence abuse is so much there in US. So as the case with India, the cultural reasons may be different, the socio-economic factors may be different, and same way if you see it, how the children are treated. Over here, you can see the children might not be getting that much of protection because of the financial issues, but in US, if you see, the children are not getting adequate protection because of the drug abuse. So what I'm saying is, this panel is basically to give an idea of how from interdisciplinary approach we are looking at this particular vulnerability. So we have here legal personality as Manoj sir and also Liba ma'am. Likewise, we also have MTCC team. They also will be telling about the perspective on education. We also have a student coordinator who will also be speaking. Likewise, we also will be having the panel members here from US, Michigan, Flint University. They'll be talking from as a reply. So first we'll go to the Indian side. Thereafter, it would be great if the US delegates can speak on that. With that, setting in motion, first I'll request Professor Manoj Kumar to speak on the topic. Thank you.
Thank you, dear Dr. Meera. You lost a name. That is Manoj Krishna. We are thick friends. Now, there is welcome to the glorious teachers. I think you are from different faculties, training, teaching and all. Now, within a very small constraint of time, I'll be making an attempt to give an overview to the distinguished guest. The problems which are faced by the marginal societies in India and the response of the courts, the legislation and the law
in solving the problem. First, I'll come to the problems. You know, India is a highly stratified community. We don't have a egalitarian society. Our society is stratified into different castes. And in all these societies, there is a lot of discriminations. Our society, it is interesting note, was based upon many outdated values. I am not sure whether you are aware of it. Our values were basically the dharma, the karma, and hierarchy. This total system of the structure of the society was hierarchical. Again, it was interesting to note that Indian society, we never had any rights. You can think over it, even Indians. Our society was molded on the principle of duties. There is duties for everyone. Now this duties varied. The only privileged sects were the so-called Brahmins. And the duties of the least backward societies, like the Shudras, was to serve people, serve people, serve people. And the Shudras were having a life which is something akin to what is slavery. So, as I told you earlier, our society was basically highly stratified and hierarchical. Now, when it comes to what you call the woman as a whole, woman was one of the most marginalized society in India. Now, this marginalization occurred in spite of the fact that the woman who used to be in the Brahminical caste, the Kshatriya caste, whatever be the caste, the woman suffered. The suffering of the woman was common. Now we can see in the ancient period and just before the constitution, the woman had no right. Yeah, woman. Finish it off. I think it was allotted 6 minutes, so I have actually prepared for 6 minutes. Will it be okay? I continue with 6 minutes? No problem. Right. When I say no problem, there is no other say to go ahead. Right. Yeah. Then she being the moderator has her role to play. And now what happened is, when you come to the Indian women, they had no right to property. They had no right to divorce. They had no right to widow remarriage. And there was a custom in the earlier period, when the husband died, the woman has to immolate herself in the funeral pyre, which is called the sati. Now the Constitution of India, when it was made in 50s, made radical change into the status of the woman. First of all, Article 14 of the Indian Constitution stated there shall be equality before law and equal protection of law within the territory of India. So after the passing of the Constitution, structurally we were all equal. Structurally. Now women were entitled to so many rights, and we came all the way, technically, you know, in the ancient period, a scripture in India which was called the Manusmriti. And this Manusmriti says that woman at no age is entitled to freedom. There is no entitlement of freedom for women in India. When they are born, they have to be taken care and dominated by the father. When they are in their youth and matrimony, the husband had to take care of her. And when we are old, when you are old, I don't say that you are old, and that period, you have to be taken care and dominated by your sons. So women never had any freedom. But after the Constitution, backed by legislations, we made a lot of changes. We had acts like Widow Remarriage Act. We had acts like Domestic Violence Protection Act. We had acts like Women Remarriage Act. Then right to property was granted under so many of the legislation like the Hindu Marriage Act, Indian Succession Act. So one more thing. Sorry. Now, with regard to the court, you have to understand the Indian courts have played a wonderful role in protecting the rights of the woman. I just three cases. Among the Christian sect, in one category of Christian sect, there was a rule which stated that when a father dies, the woman is having a right to only 1/4 of the property of the brother. The sister will be getting only 1/4 of the property of the brother, or 5,000 rupees, whichever is less. Now this is some iniquity, and this law was invalidated in the famous case of Mary Roy versus Seat. Similarly, you know that among the Islamic community, there was a position where a divorce could be made by triple talaq, that is saying talaq 3 times. And as it was providing injustice, the Supreme Court of India invalidated it in a Shahara Banu Begum case. In the Hindu law, there was a provision which stated that only a father can be a guardian. And if mother wants to be a guardian, it has to happen only after the father dies. So, we can see that that law was also invalidated by the courts in a case called Gira Hariharan. Now, with regard to the development, which were accelerated by all these legislation, it is true. It is true that in many of the, what do you call, the urban areas, we can see a lot of working foot. Madam, you look over here. The whole majority is women, and men are the minority. So, yeah, that is true with regard to urban societies and pockets of society and in the IT sector. But on a whole, if you go to the rural areas, they are still marginalized. So my submission is that little is done, but what remains, most remains to be undone. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Manoj Krishna, sir. First of all, I wanted to say that the cultural barriers, the political, social issues, he has very nicely put it forward to everybody, despite you belong to law or not. Also wanted to say that with the cases, he has also highlighted how the religion has created divisions, and it was later on curated by the Supreme Court of India. Now, on that, if anything is to be given as an example or citing something, I would invite Dr. Sam Hilbert, Assistant Professor, to speak with respect to the American jurisdictional issues from the education point of view. Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I have been bestowed as the speaker for our group, so unfortunately you get to hear me talk a lot today, so I apologize. I'm very happy to be here. Thank you so much for the warm welcome, and thank you for the run of everything happening in India in regards to women's rights and marginalized rights. There are some similarities that I wrote down from India to the US, and one of the things that stood out to me was Sir talked about there were outdated values that were happening, and these are changing with time. And in the United States, we also have outdated values, but the difference is the United States is a very young country compared to India. So our outdated values are from 1950s, where your outdated values might be much more than that. So we don't have as much history in regards to change as you do, and certainly not documented history. But one of the things that we do have that is similar is we also have a hierarchy system, and we call them a class system. And so based off of your class, it does not dictate what you can and cannot do, but it does dictate the opportunities that you have. So the higher class you are, we would call it upper class, that would predominantly Mic text. Thank you. I didn't get out of it this time. So the upper class traditionally comes with more money, with more income. And so when you have, in the United States, when you have more money, you have more opportunities. And that does not matter what your race, gender, ethnicity is. If you are a woman or a person of color in the United States with lots of money, you have the opportunity to do anything that you want to do. Go anywhere you want. Go to the most prestigious schools. So there's a higher opportunity for those in the higher class. On the other side, our lower class is traditionally, I don't know what the equation is, but it's traditionally less than 15,000 US dollars for the income. And those individuals do not have the same opportunities as others do. Specifically women, there's a lot of sexual assault that happens with women in lower class, and that tends to lead to pregnancy. And so you have young mothers around 12, 13, 14 years old, and they no longer have the opportunity to go to school because they have to take care of a child. So there is a similarity there. Like I said, we do have a somewhat history with women's rights in the United States, but again, we're a young country. So similarly to India, women did not have the opportunity to own land or have a bank account without their father or their husband, their spouse, signing off on it. And they certainly didn't have the opportunity to go freely to school, to higher education, without father or spouse signing off on it. And they did not have the opportunity for divorce, no matter what the situation was. They didn't have that opportunity. And it wasn't until the women's rights movement in the 1960s and 70s in the United States that things started to change. And in the United States, we're what's called a litigious society. So we sue everyone for everything. It does not matter. We will sue for everything. So a lot of these women's rights movements were founded through people who sued the U.S. government for things, and then those cases were brought to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court would decide things federally, whether they happen across all states or only certain states. The federal government sets the minimum requirement, and then each of the states gets to interpret what that means to them. So that means that although we are one country, we have 50 states, 51 at this point. We have 51 states, and each one of those have a different restriction, regulation, interpretation of what women and marginalized communities are allowed or not allowed to do within that one state. So those are some similarities. Although we do have overarching human rights laws in the United States, they are normally, and anyone else can speak on this, they're normally on paper and not always an experience, right, in practice. So they look really good on our Constitution and our paper, but people's lived experience are always definitely different from that. We also, one of the big differences, I think, this is my second time in India, and one of the big differences that I've seen is that in the United States, on our paper, we have a very strict separation of church and state. That means that no religion, no religious influence can be added into anything of our legal documents in any capacity. So no, we're predominantly Christian in the United States. No form of Christianity, no form of Hindu, Buddhism, anything can make its way into a law. And I think that that's a big difference that I have seen from India to the United States. So again, ours comes from people suing the government as opposed to a religious text that founds what should or should not be done.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sam Hilbert, for setting it platform for telling the cultural and the social dimensions of US. Just wanted to add on, Brown versus Topeka case. It overruled the separate but equal. That I just wanted to add. Also, the slavery system, you all know, that was prevailing earlier, that also got overturned. Now we'll listen to Dr. Liba Babu. She'll be talking about women's rights and child rights in India. 4 minutes, ma'am.
Sorry, I have a presentation also. Welcome, eminent dignitaries on and off the dais. The topic for today is human rights of the marginalized, women rights and child rights, a legal management perspective. I'm Dr. Liba, management professor at Mar Gregorius College of Law. I'm going to speak on the legal management perspective in India. The legal compliance is the minimum standard, whereas the ethical management is the higher standard. I hope the message is put across. Organizations that respect human rights, empower women, and protect children not only fulfill their legal duties, but also build sustainable, inclusive, and responsible institutions. This is what we Indians believe, and across the world, this is true also. Human rights, the legal management perspective, this is the foundation of a just and democratic society. Legally, the Constitution of India gives a great support, and a number of statutes offer guarantees to the protection of women and children in India. From a management perspective, various corporate houses and almost all the organizations, they promote fairness, inclusion, transparency, and ethical governance. Respect for human rights enhances institutional credibility, employee well-being, and boosts the corporate and the public trust across organizations. Now, women's rights in the organizational context. There are a number of enactments which prohibit discrimination, workplace harassment, violence against women in the Indian context. And this is applicable universally also. Organizations have effective policies, internal committees, equal opportunity practices, and gender-sensitive leadership. We have a good working atmosphere which is provided by many of the corporate and also the organization government institutions. Like we provide equal pay, flexible work arrangements, maternity benefits, leadership opportunities, which contribute to organizational excellence. We establish grievance redressal mechanisms too. We consider protection of women's rights as a strategic measure or corporate advantage. Gender diversity is not only a legal requirement, but also a strategic advantage that improves innovation and decision making. Corporate citizenship practices, which focuses on diversity, equity, and inclusion, also cater to it. Training and development programs for employees on legal compliance, ethics, and workplace conduct foster women's rights in organizations. But again, we face challenges and lived realities. Some of them are gender-based violence, economic and wage disparities, especially in the unorganized workforce, health and nutrition aspects, especially in the rural tribal areas in India. The rights to women, the current challenges in rural India. We have a social stigma and gender stereotypes. Marginalized women, including Dalit, tribal, minority, rural women, they face unique layered discrimination where patriarchal structures intersect economic and caste bias. Poverty and unequal access to education and healthcare, violence and exploitation, digital divide and cybercrimes, weak implementation of laws, need for greater awareness and legal literacy. There are a number of enactments and provisions which support child rights and institutionalized efforts starting from the Constitution to various enactments. We have again National Human Rights Commission, National Commission for Women, National Commission for Protection of Child Rights, which all cater to the protection of women and child rights. I'm not stepping into these into details. The key challenges again live realities with respect to women and children, digital divide and dropouts, especially the marginalized children. They frequently experience disrupted schooling due to poverty and infrastructural shortfalls. This happens especially in the rural India. Child marriage and trafficking and the Global Hunger Index, the recent study 2025 has again highlighted that India has a level of hunger that is quite serious. The score is 25.8. We have undernourishment, child stunning, child wasting, child mortality. So these are some of the crucial issues which are faced by many rural parts of India, especially with respect to child protection and child rights. Women as civil service, we have a very glorious aspect also. We have been listening to some of the very crucial aspects. Let us move to a very glorious India too. Women as civil service officers in India. Women's representation in Indian civil services have grown significantly over a decade, from 31% to 35%, and it has reached the peak individual batches to 41% representation. So Indian administrative service holds 41% of women representation, which is very admirable. And coming to the enterprise and workforce share, we have the MSME, medium, small, micro enterprises. Women own approximately 20% to 39% of micro, small, and medium enterprises across the country. The labor contribution, women-led businesses in India are estimated to contribute to around 23.3% of the labor force. These are based on the recent statistics provided by various research studies. Employment generation, female-led micro and small units provide livelihoods for an estimated 22 to 27 million people, which is very appreciated. Startup and digital expansion. Startup is recognized all over the world. What happens in India? Let us see. Startup recognition under the Startup Initiative, over 73,000 recognized startups features at least one woman director. Youth and digital rise, as again, being 58%, the share goes to female. But coming to women CEOs, we have only 5.2%. Okay? When you move up the echelons of management hierarchy, there are lesser women. So that is again a big question mark, which we have to think and overthink. Broader corporate workforce, women make approximately 23 to 26%, whereas key management positions 14% to 10%. We have again credit schemes offered by government, 70% of microloans owned by women. Workforce jumped from 22% from 2017 to 40% in 2026, which is quite, again, admirable. We have a number of ways forward, promoting legal literacy, changing cultural norms, financial independence, healthcare concerns, strengthen law force, speedy justice, gender sensitivity, child-friendly governance, economic empowerment of women, community participation, collaboration. Now let us quickly move to the glimpses of statistics provided by NCRB, National Crime Records Bureau. Okay. There are a number of problems, okay, starting from child labor to child trafficking, selling of minor girls, okay, for many people. So, but we could see that this is a very heartbreaking thing. It is increasing. And again, moving to the child labor, specifically with respect to Indian states, the child labor has increased over a period of 4 years, which is again quite overwhelming. So I end this session with a quote: there is really no such thing as a voiceless. There are only the deliberately silenced or the preferably unheard, by Arundhati Roy, the Booker Prize winner. Thank you very much. Thank you for your patient listening.
Thank you so much, Dr. Liba Babu, to tell about the business and the corporate aspect, as well as to give a outline of how in the business the women are represented. Now, I would just wanted to know if from Michigan Flint University anybody would like to speak on? If yes, after the presentation. Okay, now can we move on to the presentations of faculty members and the students from MTTC? All right, so first it would be great if Ms. Riza Mehboob, if you're ready with the presentation, over to you.
A very good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, sir. As we all know, as presented in the screen, I am going to talk about child abuse and neglect in India, a violation of child rights. Of course, we know about that. First, I would like to explain about child abuse. Yeah, I would just give some definition of child abuse. Child abuse means harming a child in various ways. Like we can of course tell like child abuse means emotionally, sexually, or physically neglecting a child's right. It can be by active commission or by just like it's a informal way of neglecting someone's right, especially in the child section. Child abuse means harming a child physically, emotionally, sexually, or by neglecting their basic needs. Every child has the right to live safely, receive education, and grow with love and care. However, many child in India still face abuse at home, in schools, workplace, and even online. As we also know, the topic is also about child neglect. Child neglect means passive omission. That means the failure to provide proper care, food, education, healthcare, love, and protection. The observable indicators of child abuse are presence of trauma, injury, or fear, and presence of observable indicators of neglect is absence of necessities, baseline health, or emotional support. The main dimensions of harm or the cause of child abuse are the main cause of child abuse include poverty, lack of awareness, family problems, alcohol or drug abuse, child labor, and poor parenting. Apart from all of these, there are 4 dimensions of harm: sexual abuse, physical abuse, emotional abuse, and neglect. Child abuse has serious effects. It can cause physical injuries, fear, depression, anxiety, poor academic performance, low self-confidence, and long-term emotional trauma. As we are now discussing the effect of child abuse, the effect of child abuse can be serious. It can start from micro triggers and then accelerate to macro triggers. Like micro triggers includes household catalysts like domestic violence, alcohol, or substance abuse. That might lead to macro triggers in the future, like systemic roots, poverty, lack of awareness, and all. Yeah, as we have discussed, the main child abuse event may lead to short-term effect and also long-term effect. As we all know, short-term scars lead to main long-term scars. Yeah, immediate or short-term fallout means physical injuries or poor academic performance. The sudden event may cause some immediate effects in the child. Like we all know, child are just fragile in nature. So the event may cause physical injuries, they may cause harm to themselves or may affect their academic performance. That may lead to major scars like depression and anxiety, low self-esteem, long-term mental problems.
Risa, try to finish in 1 minute. Here. 1 minute. Yeah.
As we all know, India is destined to protect our child, women, and all of their citizens. The main architecture of protection in India is the twin pillars. The pillar 1 consists of punitive or protective, POCSO Act 2012, and the pillar 2 consists of the rehabilitative pillar, the Juvenile Justice, Care and Protection of Children Act 2015, which protects the children in need of care and protection. And the emergency scaffold intervention include the helpline, Childline Helpline 1098, which emergently help the children for their abuse. And we can discuss the closing the vulnerability gap. We can avoid the abuse and all these events by creating awareness and education in the child section, and also utilizing the various platforms that our government provides, the Childline 1098 platform, and active reporting of any abuse that any event that we face. And it also mentions about the JJ Act 2015 and POCSO Act 2012, which intercept the effects, ensuring rehabilitation for the child and justice against the perpetrator.
Lisa, can you conclude?
Yeah, final slide. Long-term trajectory of the impact. I would like to conclude this slide with one quote: every child deserves a childhood free from fear, violence and neglect.
Thank you. For talking about the child abuse and neglect, she's not a law student. Still, I could see the JJ Act and POCSO Act mentioned. So that was great. Now we are moving on to the next presentation from Gayatri Shankar, former MEd scholar. Over to you.
Good afternoon, everyone. So I have majorly 3 points to talk, and I think I'll wind up as soon as I can within 3 minutes. So the first thing I was actually amused when you said about young mothers getting pregnant and not being able to pursue their education. So I did my master's from University of Cambridge, UK. So I was almost for 1.5 years resided there. And this is going to be my observation and my perspective on what I've, compared between UK and India. So when I was there, I could see very young mothers having children and not being able to pursue their studies. And this mothers affect the quality of life of these little children. And they themselves don't get the quality of life that every child should get. Another thing I've seen is that people in UK just randomly come out and say, I'm homeless from today onwards. And I don't understand why they do that. But here in India, there are 2 specific points I would like to mention. Every girl child, who gets pregnant below the age of 18 is actively reported under a case. So it is not actually very highly possible to get somebody pregnant under 18. And they are constantly made aware of their rights. So that is something India stands out on, and it might still be happening in some tribal areas, but not in any urban areas. And the next thing is, in India, you cannot come out one day and say that you are homeless. You have to declare it under the court. So it's not possible actually to just go outside and say that, see, I am homeless, I don't have a penny in my bank account, so from today onwards, I need all the legalities and legal rights that the country offers me. So that's one point that I've seen as a comparison between UK and India. The second thing I would like to say is, we talked about the rights of people. There are also duties here in India. So along with the Right to Education Act that India provides, there is also this duty that India calls for parents. So under 51A, the Indian Constitution says that it is the duty of every single parent to make sure that the child undergoes education from the age of 6 to 14. So it's also a duty of the parent. It's not just the right. So it makes sure that every child is pushed into the mainstream education, and we also follow an inclusive education policy here in India. So be it a differently abled child or coming from a differently social background, everybody is pushed into mainstream education. And the third thing I would like to mention would be from the quote that Jojo sir said in the first beginning session. He said, when we look up to a country, you should look at how the country treats its women. But I think I am somebody who believes in dynamism and change, and it's the time to change that quote right now. Because as you see in this hall itself, we have mostly women, and we need to change that. I think now we should look into, we should change that quote into such that a country's well-being is decided in how the country treats its silver economy, meaning the old age people. Our state has, recently put out a policy to start a geriatrics department who will make sure that the senior citizens will be taken care of. Because I see a small comparison between America, UK and all of that. We are having increased number of old age homes these days. And that is a huge concern, especially sir saying that we have a long tradition of values. Even though some values might be outdated, some actually have guaranteed that we have a good family setup here, but that is now getting, some cracks somewhere. So I think Kerala is now putting up a new, model in front of India, where we are going to start a department where we will care for the older people. So that is my points. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Gayatri. Just wanted to give an update that, she talked about the privileged women also here, because if you see the Kerala state is one of the best states also overall in India. And one thing is like when we compare, we also have to see how Michigan as a state is doing this something compared to New York or maybe from other 51 states. Now, having said that, we are moving on to the next presentation from Ajit Joseph, 5th semester. He'll be talking about beyond laws, why child rights still fail in practice, which is almost opposite to what she had said. Over to you.
Good morning all. My name is Ajay Joseph and I'll be talking on the topic beyond laws, why child rights still fail in practice. So rights on paper to rights in practice. Now, India, as we all know, has made a significant progress in recognizing and protecting child rights through its constitutional guarantees, specialized legislation, and international commitments. However, the real measure of this success is whether these rights are experienced by children in everyday lives. The challenge today is moving from the legal recognition to the practical protection. So now, India's child rights architecture. Now, as we all know, the key legal instruments that governs a child's rights in India are the Constitution of India, Articles 15, Clause 3, 21A, 24, 39, and 45, the Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act, or the POSCO Act, the Juvenile Justice Act, that was clearly mentioned by the other panelists, which was Riza, the Right to Education Act, Child Labor Prohibition and Regulation Amendment Act, UN Convention on the Rights of Child. These are the key instruments that governs the children's rights in India. Now, how do we bridge the gap between the law and the reality? Now, strong legislation alone is not enough. Effective child protection requires greater public awareness, consistent implementation, child-friendly justice, rehabilitation, and cooperation among schools, families, communities, and public instruments. So these ultimately, the implementation determines the effectiveness of any legal framework. So that's what is being mentioned over here. The strong laws alone cannot guarantee meaningful protection without effective implementation. The recent digital initiative and institutional reforms that is being done by the government of India, that is, India is also strengthening implementation through its digital and institutional reforms. Platforms such as TrackChild, Ghar, Bal Swaraj, and the POSCO tracking module improve monitoring and coordination, while the fast-track special courts and capacity building initiatives promote a more child-centered justice system. So now, the key takeaways and the future priorities. India's child protection framework is increasingly aligned with the global standards, including the UN Convention on the Rights of the Child, and the implementation requires prevention and early intervention, child-centered governance, technology-enabled monitoring, multi-sector collaboration, and evidence-based policy making. The true success of child rights lies not in the number of the laws enacted, but ensuring that every child experiences safety, dignity, and opportunity. Just a comparative perspective, like, different models, but we have the same goals, which is Indian and the mission goals. India has specialized statutes such as the POSCO Act, Juvenile Justice Act, while mission relies on So while Michigan relies on child protection systems coordinated through agencies such as Child Protective Services and mandatory reporting laws, despite these different legal models, both continue to face implementation challenges. What can our two jurisdictions learn from one another to build child protection systems that are not legally robust but consistently effective? So that is a question that I would ask for today.
Thank you, Ajit. Although the topic was on failing the system, I guess he's also talked about the prevailing policies and the rights which are also giving to the students as well as the different child groups. Just wanted to tell that in India, child is not defined properly. Just wanted to tell. Because in different legislation, the definition of child varies. In labor law, it's under 14. And in Majority Act, it says under 18. Likewise, education, if you see it, 14 onwards, and the criminal liability, if you see it, 7 years, 12 years, it varies. Just wanted to say that. And now, as a comment to this particular presentation and all the panelists who have just finished it, I would request Dr. Sam to give a summary of your. Oh, I'm so sorry. You want to do it afterwards? Or just, okay, all right. At the end, okay. All right. So now we can move on to Dr. Rashmi, who will be talking on human and child rights, constitution promises, everyday realities. Thank you.
Good afternoon, dignitaries on the dais and off the dais. My name is Dr. Rishmias, B.Ed student from MTSS College. So my topic of presentation is human and child rights, constitutional promises and everyday realities. So yes, our constitution promises us with enormous rights, but then are we really enjoying it alike is the topic. The true strength of a nation is reflected in how it treats its weakest and most vulnerable members. Protecting the rights is not merely a legal duty, but it's a fundamental social responsibility. Now, some of the rights that are given by our constitution, like to have a dignified life, right to equality, right to freedom, right to security, life, and development. And these rights are applicable irrespective of caste, gender, social status, etc. Now, these rights are laid in our constitutions by Article 14, the right to equality, Article 21, the right to life and personal liberty, Article 21A, the right to education. Now, the four pillars of childhood, where every child deserves equal opportunities. The four pillars are the survival, development, participation, protection, which they are denied of. Most of the children are denied of these rights. Now, where we are failing our children in? Our children undergo child labor, child abuse, denied education at a very young age, and this impacts their education, leads to health problems, long-term emotional difficulty, reduced opportunities, etc. Now, the ripple effect of this inequality is social discrimination and violence against women and children. Now, as teachers, we are the guardians of dignity, and a teacher doesn't merely teach subjects, but we protect the dignity and future of every child. So let us take our youth from awareness to action, because when we protect the rights of every child, we build a stronger nation for everyone. So I would like to conclude with the quotes of Nelson Mandela. There can be no keener revelation of a society's soul than the way which it treats its children. Protect rights, secure the future. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for talking about the constitution, different rights, and also talking from the educator's point of view, how the promises can be made and realities can be done. Now, I would invite Ms. Aparna Chandran to speak on Every Child Matters. Over to you.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Aparna Chandranal, myself from Ma Theophilus Training College, myself an ex-Gregorian. Okay, so I'll be talking on child rights, every child matters. The survival, protection, development and participation. So, basically the 4 pillars of child rights are survival, protection, development and participation. When we speak about survival, it is the right to life, food, shelter and healthcare. And when it's come to protection, it is the freedom from violence, abuse and exploitation. Coming to development perspective, it is the right to education, learning and growth. Coming to participation, it is the right to be heard, share and opinion. The real scenario of child labor worldwide, it is nearly 246 million of children were still in child labor in the year 2000. When it came to 2020, the number has changed. It has drastically decreased to 160 million, and in 2024, there is only a short decline to 138 million. That is 2 years before, right? Even today, the condition is not very much changed. 138 million students are still in child labor. Among that, 54 million are trapped in hazardous and dangerous work. 61% of the child labor is still in agriculture, which is a major economy of our country, India. So, 38% of trafficking, of all detected human trafficking victims worldwide are children. 1 in 5 are victims of early marriage. 273 million are out of school. Children and youth worldwide out of the school due to poverty, discrimination and crisis. So this is a comparison where child A and child B. Child A is carrying a school bag, which is very good to see, right? And when coming to child B, it carries bricks to a site, which is very painful to see. So as college students, what can we do? We can refuse to support any form of child labor that we witness today. Report cases of abuse and exploitation. Volunteer to teach unprivileged children, which is why we are becoming the teachers, right? Then spread awareness about child rights. Encourage every child to stay in school, whatever their situation be. Advocate for child protection policies. Thank you.
Perfectly managed time. Thank you so much. So just wanted to say that Ms. Aparna had talked about different aspects of helping the children, which we, Mar Gregoris, also do through legal aid centers. I'm sure that in every law school in US as well, they have a legal aid centers that carry out the work to ensure the outreach programs. With that note, now I pass on to Dr. Sam Hilbert to talk about how she responds to all these presentations and your viewpoint from US point of view. Thank you. Over to you.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Your presentations have been amazing and very eye-opening. I took some notes because I'm a teacher, so I have a notebook with me at all times. And I'm going to go through a couple of things that really stood out to me. In regards to women's rights and the workplace, I thought it was really interesting that in India, it seems that there are a lot more laws specific for the protection of women's rights in the workplace. In the United States, we don't have this as structured as India tends to. While there is a law against discrimination in the workplace, meaning that I can't not hire you because of your race, ethnicity, gender. Again, that's on paper, and then in practice, it looks really different. But for women, really the only specific women's rights laws that I could think of is maternity leave, which in the United States is all of 6 weeks. And then there is a mandated breastfeeding time, which is 15 minutes every 3 hours is what you get. in the United States, there's something that we call the glass ceiling. And the glass ceiling is because we are, yes, we're conditioned, and we have a male-dominated society. There are unwritten rules that women are allowed to be in certain professions and at certain levels. So similar to what you guys were experiencing in that 5.2% of CEOs in India, it's less than that in the United States, because the unwritten rule is that women are not allowed to be in that position. The most recent thing I can think of is we had a woman run for president, and there was a big narrative that women are not allowed to have that position. So there is a difference in that. I'm looking through my notes. Give me a second. In regards to child labor, this is not my area of expertise, but I do know a bit about it. We do have very strict laws with child labor, and the laws result in prison time for the person who offends, and significant fines of over $100,000 US. So we don't tend to have as big of an issue with documented child labor, and these laws generally protect children under the age of 15. But from 15 on, they can have any job that they want. 15 to 17, they have certain hours that they can work. You can't work a full-time job, but they can work maybe 10 or so hours a day, or not a day, gosh, a week. That would be awful. You guys talked a lot about child abuse and neglect, and the protection of child abuse and neglect. The last presenter had a really great connection between the child abuse and child protective services. That's what we call it in the United States. However, one of the things that I made note of was in India, neglect also is neglect of love. So love is a component of that, and that is not something that is even considered in the United States. So you can have a child and not love them and still be able to quote parent them. And so I thought that was very eye-opening, not something I had ever considered on my side. The Child Protective Services in the United States is a very broken system. Anyone will tell you that it is not a good functioning system. It's under change. But one of the issues with the Child Protective Services is if I suspect that a child is being abused or neglected, as the teacher, I'm a mandated reporter. That means I'm required to report whatever it is that I see. From there, the Child Protective Service Agency then interviews the parent to ask them what the abuse is and if they are abusing their child, which, as you can imagine, is a very flawed system. Of course, the parent is not going to admit that they're abusing their child because they know the consequences. And then they also interview the child, usually in front of the parent. So this is also not a great system. And so there are some changes that, of course, need to happen. There are laws in the United States that protect children against abuse and neglect, but again, it is a flawed system. One of the bigger connecting pieces that I saw across all of our presentations was the significant contribution and inclusion that the government, the Constitution, the laws have, not only in education, but in the community as well. And I think that is one of the most startling differences that I've encountered today is oftentimes in the United States, we're a very individualized people. So we don't tend to have a strong sense of community. We have a strong sense of family, but not a strong sense of community. We tend to stick to our bubble, our close group of people, and not venture out from that. So when you are an immigrant coming to the United States, or you are a person from the non-dominant culture, there is a sense of isolation, a sense of you're doing things all on your own and you don't have a group of people to help you. And that impacts not only the people who are experiencing this, but the children as well. They don't have a cultural connection that they can look back on, or that they can have from here on. So the parents are having to do everything on their own. They're having to figure out everything on their own. Not only the new language, the new system, the new state, the new education, everything, but the child is as well. And there are very little supports to help with this bridge. The other part of the U.S. experience is that in India, I see that there's a bigger connection from the teacher to the student to the community. So it's a very clear line from the teacher is helping the student and the community because they're helping the student. And it is not that way in the United States. And it definitely is not. In the United States, there is a clear distinction between what a teacher can and cannot do in regards to families. So, whereas, I'm unsure if this is correct in India, but in the United States, in the education system, the parent always knows best. The parent is always right and will always have the authority to make any decision, educational, social, emotional, anything for their child. And even though the teacher is the qualified expert and the one who has done all of the training, the parents still have the right to say yes or no to anything education related for the child. And obviously for the education of the society, that creates a problem because the non-qualified individuals, the people without the degrees, without the training, are making decisions in a space that they don't necessarily have understanding of how to make those decisions. But because we are an individualized society, parents and families tend to look at it like it is not the teacher's place to dictate how I should parent my child. And so I think that it, similar and different to what you guys are experiencing, it creates a lifelong problem of we don't have the close connection to society. We don't have the close connection to culture. It impacts our workforce. It impacts the elderly community. And so it just seems like it's a constant thread throughout the entire presentations and throughout all of our education experience that we have in the U.S.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Sam, for giving an outline of what we have spoken. Just wanted to say that India and US are parties to certain conventions. One is CEDAW, which is a convention on women's rights, and also CRC, which is also a convention of child rights, and there we talk about the best interest of the child. So what constitutes the best interest is very subjective, and that's why most of the problems happen. Just also wanted to say about the recent documentary, Adolescence. You must have all watched it. It was a British documentary where we have seen the new digital right is taking over than any emotional way of dealing with the child. So with that note, we have shortage of time, because of which I am wanting everybody to ask the questions after the event.
The question is to Madam, and I think you are all teachers or students there? Yeah. You from which branch? Education. Now, my question is totally different from child rights and also the other rights. When I went to see the statistics of Michigan, your state, you're an independent state with an independent constitution, and Detroit is one of your famous cities. I happened to see that the population, indigenous population in your state, is limiting to 3%. The white population has come down to 70%. The colored population has been on the rise, and there is a huge rise in the Asian population. Now, here, one of the most marginalized sector in every country is the indigenous population. We don't care about them. But that is where, I think even the name of your country has come from a American Indian name. But how you protect your American Indians? Because here, one of the basic problems is the problems of the Dalits or the tribals. It's something like indigenous. If you go to Australia, the Maoris are a very huge category and they are fighting for the rights and they have the power. Can you explain what is the plight of the indigenous, the Red Indians in your state?
Fantastic question. And if you know anything about the U.S. history in regards to indigenous people, it's not pretty and it's not fantastic. And so, unfortunately, we don't do anything to protect the indigenous population. There are some things. The indigenous people have access to certain land. There are certain parts of their original land, but you're talking maybe 1% of the entire land distribution is specific for the indigenous population. The other thing is that if there is an indigenous tribe, they have the ability to form their own not only community, but their government and constitution as well. So they are protected from following the federal law, which is a good thing and not a good thing. But that is pretty much where they're at. In regards to specifically education, it is horrific. The history that indigenous people have had in the United States with education. And so a lot of them go to tribal schools and tribal colleges where they teach the traditional indigenous way and traditional indigenous society and cultural norms.
Thank you. Now I want MC to come forward.
Thank you for the questions, and it was a great discussion. Now that's a wrap, but before, Mar Gregorius would love to present the guest with a token of love, a memento, and I call our Dr. Meera Matthew HOD, Liba ma'am, and Manoj sir taking in turns to give our guest the memento. Let's start with giving a memento to Dr. Sam Hilbert, Dr. Jeremy Donovan, Dr. Jeremy Donovan, Dr. Susain, Dr. Marilyn, no. Imari, Sushma ma'am, please join them. Thank you. Lillian. Santi. And Alisa.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. To formally close today's proceedings and thank everyone who made this exchange possible, I invite our Faculty of Law, Professor Dr. Sushma George Matthew, to propose the vote of thanks after the photo session.
Sure, yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. Educational and cultural exchanges are the lifeblood of a globalized community, and we are immensely grateful that we had the opportunity to host this delegation from the University of Michigan, FLINT. Firstly, I wish to thank the Kerala Higher Education Council and Theophilus Training College for having facilitated this opportunity for our college, especially Dr. Joju John sir for having taken immense efforts to ensure that this is a very enriching program, and sir's whole team. Secondly, I express the college's wholehearted gratitude to this visiting delegation, and to particularly Dr. Sam Hilbert, who was a spokesperson for the delegation, and to the whole delegation for very patient hearing of our thoughts on this subject. I would also like to particularly thank our moderator for the section, Dr. Meera Matthew, head of the department here, who carefully navigated us through various opinions on the subject. Thank you, ma'am. I wish to particularly thank all the other panelists whose presentations were especially enriching and made this a very memorable event, no doubt. So thank you to all the senior teachers, the students who participated in this discussion. Before I conclude, let me just put a formal note of thanks to our director, Father Adarsh Kumblat, who is not present here, but who you will meet downstairs, who was instrumental in facilitating this program. Our principal, Dr. Bijagumar sir, they were very enthusiastic about hosting the whole team here, and all the others who supported the actual rollout of the program. I finally thank my students, student volunteers, students from MGCL. I think I forgot to thank my teachers, most respected teachers from Theophilus Training College, who took the pain to come over here and also make this whole event very fruitful in every sense. Thank you, team. Thank you.
രണ്ട് കാര്യങ്ങൾ പറയാനുണ്ട്. ഒന്ന്, നാളെ ഒരു ഇൻ്റർനാഷണൽ കൊളോക്യം മാർത്തിയപ്ലസ് കോളേജിൽ നടക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. ബെസ്റ്റ് പ്രാക്ടീസസ് ഇൻ ഇന്ത്യൻ ആൻഡ് പ്ലീസ് കം ഇന്ത്യൻ ആൻഡ് കസേര ഇങ്ങോട്ടൊന്ന് ഇട്ട് കൊടുത്തു. ഇന്ത്യൻ ആൻഡ് US എഡ്യൂക്കേഷൻ. നിങ്ങൾ ആരെങ്കിലും ലോ കോളേജിൽ നിന്ന് പങ്കെടുക്കാൻ താല്പര്യമുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ പങ്കെടുക്കണം. ഒരു 2 പേർക്ക് ഇതുപോലെ ഒരു 3 minutes പ്രസൻറ്റേഷൻ നടത്താനും ഓപ്പർച്യൂണിറ്റി ഉണ്ട്. റിസോഴ്സ് പേഴ്സൺ സർട്ടിഫിക്കറ്റ് കിട്ടും കേട്ടോ. അപ്പം നമ്മളെല്ലാവരും എഴുന്നേൽക്കുന്നു, എല്ലാവരും ഫ്രണ്ടിലോട്ട് വരുന്നു. ഫാക്കൽറ്റി മുഴുവൻ ഒന്ന് ഇരിക്കുന്നു, കുട്ടികൾ ഫ്രണ്ടിലും ഇരിക്കുന്നു, ബാക്കിയുള്ളവർ പുറകിലും നിൽക്കുന്നു. ഒറ്റ ഗ്രൂപ്പ് ഫോട്ടോ. അറിയാം, ഓടിവാ. ലോ കോളേജിലെ ഫാക്കൽറ്റിയും Theophilus ട്രെയിനിങ് കോളേജിലെ ഫാക്കൽറ്റിയും ഇരിക്കുന്നു. നമ്മുടെ ഗസ്റ്റ്